Good morning, world. I have not done a video for a while, and I wanted to update you because I was inspired this morning to talk to you about when someone tries to make you wrong with the saying, well, no one else has complained about that issue. Nobody else says anything about it. That just makes my blood boil. So that just happened to me this morning. Because I've been hearing a dog whining in the next door cottage and wanted to bring it to the attention of people that could help get that stopped. So without going into the details, I finally ran into the owner who's never home and leaves his dog for hours at a time and doesn't ever hardly take the dog out. I saw him taking him out today. He made sure I noticed. Anyway, so we had a confrontation. It was going well until he said that I should take a look at myself and things that I'm... Anyway, don't ever accept when people say no one else feels that way. I used to hear that growing up too, and it would make my blood boil then too, because I don't care what anybody else has said about this particular issue. What I'm talking about is me and my feelings, and I'm communicating that to you, and I don't need to hear about what other tenants think or don't do. So whenever anyone tries to do that to you, remember that your feelings are valid. You don't need to be backed up by a voting of everybody else in the whole thing, because they're not waking up in the middle of the night hearing a dog whine. I love dogs, and personally, it's easier to love animals oftentimes. Anyway, so he was making all kinds of assumptions about me, that I need to get out. He doesn't see me ride my bike and walk in the woods for miles. But since he doesn't see it, it's not happening. So just remember that when people try to make you wrong because other people don't agree with you, so what? I told him, I don't need to have the agreement of everybody else living here. I'm waking up in the middle of the night hearing a dog whine. So I don't feel bad about that. And I'm never going to feel bad about animal rights activisms and helping abused animals. Never going to feel bad about it. Nope. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you because it just made me realize today that I've been hearing that my whole life. I remember growing up and hearing, well, your sisters don't feel that way. I don't care that they don't feel that way. I feel this way, and that feeling is valid. You don't need to have anybody else's agreement for how you feel. It doesn't change anything. So I just want to make that perfectly clear since it just happened again. I haven't heard it for a while. I think the last time I heard it was at a meditation retreat in Myanmar when I was trying to tell the monk who I had asked for. See, because when you're meditating 14 hours a day, it's nice to talk to somebody every 2 or 3 days for 15 minutes so you don't go crazy. Anyway, so this guy was driving me crazy because he was Burmese. And he thought he knew how to speak English really well. Now, for those of you who have not traveled and have not encountered this, it's a thing. There's people that have learned English that don't really know how to speak English well, but think they do. So if you try to correct them or say, would you say that again? It's always been men. Take offense that you didn't understand. I've never heard a woman say this to me. Anyway, and I've traveled in 35 countries, so talked to a lot of people with heavy accents. So this guy, this monk, goes to me, well, no one else has complained that they can't understand me. And I looked him straight in the eye and said, I'm not talking about what anybody else feels. I'm talking about what I'm feeling. I couldn't understand 80% of what he was saying because he thought he was speaking perfect English. And there I am after 14 hours of meditation going, and I'm not going to be able to understand what you're saying. So I stopped going. I didn't need to talk to him. I was doing all the listening. And I gotta say, this is something no one talks about when you travel. You have to listen really carefully, because if someone is speaking another language or trying to speak English and they have a heavy accent, you're not going to understand all of it. So you have to really listen carefully. So, and I'm a very good listener. So I'm not gonna say that I don't know how to listen, because I do. I've listened a lot. I'll go to a new country and listen to people for like a month without trying to say anything, because I'm really listening to catch their oral, AURAL, cues, so I can communicate. That's how you do it. A lot less listening in most countries than you'd expect. Anyway, honor yourself and love yourself by not letting people tell you that because other people in the family, in the world, in the community don't feel the way you do. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how those other people feel. If you have something you're trying to communicate and you're trying to communicate it and express it, it needs to be listened to. So, but it makes you make better choices in life too, because when you don't find a place that accepts your thoughts and feelings, that's not your community. So, might be time to move. Okay, so have a great day, and thanks for letting me get this off my chest, and I hope it's beneficial for you. I'll see you in the next video.